Hey, what's up, you guys? Happy free agency. Happy 1 year anniversary of the First and 10 NFL New York Jets podcast.
Woo!
How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm good. Can you believe we made it a year? One
Man,
year.
I can't. It's crazy.
Us two knuckleheads sitting here talking football for a year now about our New York Jets.
Yeah, and on a down freaking year too. I mean, imagine if
Really?
I am so pumped up after the last couple days. How about you?
Oh, I'm psyched. I mean, this is what Friday morning tired looks like, watching the phones, checking out all the feeds for trades. And it doesn't help that March Madness started yesterday, and I was watching that till 1 o'clock in the morning last night. But
with all these free agent signings, I have to start with the one that really made me the happiest. And
I know where you're going.
You probably know what that is.
I know where you're going.
Braxton's back, baby.
Yep. Yes, he is. Yes,
Yep.
he is. And you know what, Kev? Everyone talked money, $7 million a year, 3 year, $24 million. We threw out there, and Braxton signed for 2 year. What was it? 12 million, 7 million guaranteed.
Yep.
He didn't, gouge the Jets. He didn't.
No.
Know.
In the end, he wanted to stay here.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
That had a lot to do with it.
Now, I don't know if you, I mean, it was only a few days ago. I thought early Tuesday morning before the deal that done, and of course you're going to hear whispers and we don't know what is true. Like I said, people throw things out there. Miami was one of the teams interested in him. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it ever got to an offer, what the offer was, but where we were all sitting here weeks before going, what do you give him? Well, like I said, he's a slot receiver. He's the fourth guy on the team. You don't want to break the bank for him. I don't know what he's thinking. This is the perfect contract. To me, this is the perfect contract.
And, okay, he may be a number 4, but the guy, there's something about the guy.
Well, you said it last week when you pointed to your heart. The guy's a lion. He's got the heart of a lion. You want, 54 of those guys, you want that attitude.
I said that all year, I love that.
Yeah.
He was always one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, Ken, we'll get into it, but with the 6 guys we picked up in free agency. Now, I'm not talking about the guys our free agents that we resigned. Every one of them seems to have the heart of a lion.
That's what you want, man.
Exactly.
It's the dog mentality. You want those dogs. You want those junkyard dogs, man.
Yes. And listen, as fans, we critique our team bad and we critique them good. Joe Douglas, right now, if this team goes 10-7 and makes the playoffs, he's GM of the year. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says.
Listen, I got my hat on.
I see it. Yes.
Okay. And I got this on for a reason. That's how pumped up I am.
Yeah. And listen, right now,
I'm going to go out on a limb this.
Wow. Okay.
On a limb and say we're going to get another one of these hats.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, I mean, I don't want to, raise the expectations, but
no.
If we go 10-7 and we're that 17 for the wild card, I'm happy as a pig. And you know what? I mean, and listen, no one but me and you hit Joe Douglas hard. Like, we didn't praise him right off the bat like a lot of other people did. We were a little skeptical. We didn't put the rose-colored glasses on. But when you think about what this man took over and where this team stands today on March 18th, man, you got to look at Joe. I mean, think about
Can't complain, right? Can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something from Rich Samini that I forgot how much money and dead money the Jets owed when he took over as GM because of mistakes under Tannenbaum, Idzik, and what was his name?
Well, yeah,
Cardigan, whatever. I can't even remember his name.
It's clean now, right?
Well, clean in the sense that there's 1.5 million. That's peanuts to what was on there. We're out from Tremaine Johnson, dead money.
What a joke.
Donaldson, dead money. What was the guy who hurt his neck? He was out for the last 2 years, 3 years. Good little player, but he had the neck issues. And Nunwa. We're out from that Quincy, dead money. Like
Quincy.
I mean, to be out from dead money, like the Jets were always dead money. And now 1 million and change is nothing to be out, if that's what we owe for dead money, if I remember the number right. And when you think about it, Kevin, every player he signed in free agency, no one got more than a 3-year deal.
3 years, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. 3-year deals, I see.
No one got more than a 3-year deal, and everyone is under 30. Everyone's going to start this season in September under 30 years old.
Nice.
Lakeland Tomlinson, 30 years old. Uzama, 29. Coughlin, 25. Reed, 25. Martin
hey man, so you set yourself up for that 2-3 year window.
Yep.
It's time to produce. And like we said to each other, now it's all up to Zach.
Oh yeah. And listen, before you even said that, I would say, and all these contracts, because they're only 2-3 years, I believe the Jets could get out of a lot of them after year 2.
Yeah, I'm sure there's language in there with an out.
And for all the knocking, at least, and I can't talk about other people, but for all the knocking like we did with Joe D, the man today, when people say in Joe D we trust, put him on the dollar bill, put him on the $5 bill.
Listen, so far so good. Let's see how it translates to September, October, November, and December.
Exactly, but in that case, Kev, if you're given the horses, now Salah and this coaching staff got to get these horses to play.
That's right. Get them you got to get the horses to run now.
Yeah. So,
yep.
I mean, when you're looking at, late
and again, like I saw it on a lot of social media, jet forums and stuff.
Yeah.
They're all putting it on Wilson now. Wilson. Now you got these tight ends. Maybe we'll pick up another receiver, either in free agency or the draft. I'd like to see them go after Metcalf.
Okay.
I mean, you never know. Work out a trade.
Oh yeah, and listen, I've never been the
you got a 4 and a 10.
Yeah. Kevin, I've said this, and this about me. I've never been the type that will rip another Jet fan for what he thinks. I've been ripped a lot for what I think, but I don't care about it. Me personally, nothing against Metcalf. The guy's a stud. I just feel like we've been down that road before. I'd rather go with the draft. For me right now, I would say I'd rather go with the unknown and have this team grow together. I'm
Sauce? You want Sauce?
Sauce, I want. What's his name? The old lineman, Evan Neal. Is that his name? I have his name written here somewhere. Yeah.
Everywhere I see has his edge at 4 and Sauce at 10.
Yep. Yeah. Now, do you still go? And listen, you want the best player on the board. Do you go Sauce at 10 even after you brought in Reed and Whitehead? No, I don't know. I hear a lot of our Jet fans saying maybe you make a trade at 10 and get more picks down the road. That sounds good.
I don't know. Yeah. Hey, man.
You know?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with acquiring more picks. Fill holes. Some of the best guys come out of the later rounds. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, when you and since you said that, let's look at this real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. CJ Uzama, 5th round pick. DJ Reed, 5th round pick.
There you go.
Jordan Whitehead, 4th round pick. Tyler Coughlin, 5th round pick. Jacob Martin, 6th round pick.
It's like I knew what you were gonna say. right?
Yeah, like all these guys, other than Lakeland, which was a round 1 pick by Detroit back in 2017, all these guys were late round picks. You know why? Because these are the guys who say to themselves, you know what, I should have been higher. These are the guys with the heart that I want to prove something to you.
Play with the chip on the shoulder.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And like you said, Kevin,
this
falls on Zach now. If this team is not in every game, is not competitive, it's not going to be because Joe D didn't do everything he can to bolster this offense. Because let me tell you something, on paper, this is probably one of the best offenses we've
had in a long time.
Ryan, right?
In a long time, yes.
Right?
In a long time, yes.
I mean, can you imagine if you went five receivers? And when I say receivers, I'm not even talking like if you talk about bringing Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and then you go double tight end, and then, you know, Berrios, like if you ever went to a 5 receiver, who are you covering out of those 5?
And hey, man, Crowder's still here.
Yes, yeah. As of now, Crowder is still here.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
A lot of people think a trade is coming down the peak in the next couple of weeks or closer to the draft, you know? And that could be because now you have chips. Now Crowder's a free agent. Is Crowder a free agent?
I think so, yeah.
All right, so then he can't use him as a chip. I keep hearing Denzel Mims as a chip. Now that Green Bay needs a receiver, will the LaFleur brothers do something? Or
wow, can you believe Adams to the Raiders?
I know. 141 mil.
You just re-signed Rodgers. That's his favorite target.
Mm-hmm. There were talks this morning that Rodgers knew this was coming. Okay. He knew this was coming, so he's not pissed about it.
I'm sure they talk to each other, him and Adam. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So, and it sounded like Dante wanted the Raiders all along because of Derek Carr. I guess they played together in college, or they knew each other somehow.
Yeah.
You know, they live in the same town, from what I heard. But anyway, let's get back to our team. Like,
let's run it down here.
Yeah.
Laken Tomlinson.
Yep.
Berrios.
Yep.
Kevin Coleman.
Yep.
CJ.
Yep.
DJ Reed. Jordan Whitehead. Conklin from the Vikings. And now I saw the Texans defensive end, Jacob Martin.
Yeah, he'll be a nice depth piece for the D line.
Yes.
But then when you talk about just what we did signing our own free agents, I know you've named Berrios, but then you got Bowden back in the fold, Connor McDermott.
Yep.
Willie Parks, Elijah Riley, Nate Shepard, LaMarcus Joyner, Dan Feeney, and then you exercise exclusive rights to Ward, to Smith, and to Javelin Guidry. You're bringing in the guys who have the heart, that show fire, that show mustard, that kick-ass attitude.
And I'm glad you kept the veteran presence in the quarterback room.
Yes, I didn't even bring up Flacco and White. You know, exactly. You know, and I don't think Joe Douglas is done. I don't know what we have left on the cap. The last I heard, I thought I heard 32 million, which still makes us either the first or second richest team still. But I don't know after all the signings what the number is now. But if you still have $32 million to play with, you could go out there.
You still got to sign your draft picks too.
No, so. I know, but you allocate that money, you'll move that money to the side, you know. But yeah, you know, wow. Like when you're talking about Tyler Conklin, do you see the man could block? He could catch. He catches like a receiver. And
he's like a beast. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, and we already know what CJ Uzomah is. You know, Uzomah. You know,
2 tight end sets, man.
I know.
Who do you cover?
Exactly. And Kevin, 2 tight ends that play like wide receivers. They really do.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you want to talk about Christmas coming early. You couldn't ask for anything falling in our lap better the way Joe D did it. And nothing over 3 years. Right. And no one got a bigger contract than $40 million. And that was Lakeland Tomlinson.
Yes, Tomlinson, yeah.
Was guaranteed. Yep. I mean,
and that's huge because now I'm hearing they're going to put him on the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep Tucker on the left. The question to me is Becton.
Yeah, Becton is still the question. And listen, I'm starting to think he's a question within that building.
I agree.
I'm starting to think he's a question within that building.
I agree.
So
there was something about that injury. It was a few weeks, 4 weeks, then it was 6 weeks, then it was 8 weeks, and then you never saw him again.
Yeah, no, I know. And again, we talked about this last week. Again, we're seeing the pitch is greatest shape. Well, I don't want to hear any of that. Show me, don't tell me is the last I'll say about Mackay. And I'm a Mackay guy.
I know you are. I know you are.
You know?
I know.
But when you have, when there's an Evan Neal sitting out there, maybe you could get him at 10 in the draft. Or there's a who else am I looking at here? Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the other old lineman I was talking about. Ecom, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I mean, there's old lines in this draft that we could get. Mackay Becton has to come in the best shape and be ready to kick some ass.
I agree.
Now I'm going to throw cold water on it because I'm always the Jet fan who's out in left field and everyone mocks him, but I don't care. I still want the center at 10. I still want this Tyler Linden.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
I do. I do because I think this. I saw what McCree did last year with the Chiefs. I saw what Mangold did with us when he came in. This line now just needs that bully, that bulldog, And I'm not saying McGovern can't be that, but that's.
You need someone with that nasty. You need a center with the nastiness of Willie Colon.
Yeah, like that Bart Scott, Brian Cox, Lawrence Taylor. Like, you're not going to shit on us today, not in our house.
Right.
And I'm not saying McGovern can't be that, but, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, right now you're looking at what? Vera Tucker, Mackay Becton, Fant, Tomlinson, and McGovern as your 5.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not a bad 5. Don't get me wrong.
No, no.
You've signed Connor McDermott.
I saw people saying if they stay healthy, could be one of the best lines in the league.
Yeah, I heard that. Top 10, top 15. I don't want to get that
all
crazy.
All right, relax.
Yeah, I heard that. And then you're talking about depth pieces, Connor McDermott, Feeney, and then if you bring back Tardif, now you're talking here. Now we got, something to hang our hats in and say, all right, we got. I hate to use the word ballers because I used it last year, and then, oh man, but right now you got to be on cloud 9 if you're a Jet fan.
I mean, I was hoping for Jensen from the Bucks, but that didn't happen.
But you know what, Kev? So was I. But you knew once Tom came back in the fold, Jensen.
That he wasn't going anywhere. Of course not.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Yep.
But wow, like when you look, you brought in DJ Reed, you brought in Jordan Whitehead. These boys could play. They could hit. You listen to them yesterday, and they're like, our numbers speak for themselves. Like they were pumped. They're telling you the attitude they have.
They're as pumped up as we are. I mean, I saw people say, "Oh, they're just pumped up for the money," but no,
man,
you can see they're pumped up.
You know what, Kevin? We were worried. Maybe not so much me. I think you said it, and if you didn't, I take it back. Will free agents want to come here? That was the worry. Do you want to come here?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, all the trouble in Miami. Will free agents want to go there?" First and foremost, if the dollar's right, these players are going to go because they want to take care. Sure. And who could blame them, Kev? We all want to take care of our family.
That's right.
We all want to have our kids be set for life. Don't let that fool you. So players were going to come. But the fact is that We were worried that the Jets weren't going to do it. And all the reasons we worried about is what these guys talked about. We want to be here. We liked what Coach Salah said. We like what they're building. We like the culture change. You know, all the things that we talked about was worrisome for us as Jet fans. This culture sucks. This is now turning over. It flipped the script. Now the pieces are falling into place. Now the coaches have to coach these pieces and bring us to where we want to go.
That's right.
And that's the final. Like we give Joe D a lot of heat, at least you and I do, but we can't anymore. He's given them the pieces. And now we're going to see what he does in this draft. Because you know a trade is happening during that draft.
Oh, yes.
He's going to trade a second rounder and get more. He might even drop the 10 and get more. He's going to build this team. And you see now what Joe Douglas wants to do. And listen, like I said to you, Kev, the way I knocked him is the way I'm praising him. You know what? That's the way it works. You get knocked, you get praised. This is what we do on this show. But right now, Joe D, props.
I mean,
props.
Me, I'd like to see him go edge at 4.
Yeah. I'm not going to knock that. So you like that, Kayvon?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting to Allen.
Yeah,
and you know that's what it's all about.
I agree with you. I that's the one move I like at 4. I was praying that Hutchinson kid would fall to 4, but I don't think he's going to get past 2 with Detroit.
I've seen him going 1.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Is Jacksonville 1? Yeah, you see him going 1. Okay, yeah, I'm whatever, but. Oh, I would love for him to fall to 4.
That would be nice.
Now, here's the interesting thing. With Deshaun Watson narrowing his teams down to 2, and once he makes a decision, either later today or tomorrow, where do the Colts go? Where does Carolina go? Do they reach out to Matty Ryan? Does Baker Mayfield get traded? The reason why I'm bringing this up.
Well, you see Baker, he said he wants a trade. He wants out.
I know.
And can you blame
Mayfield?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up, Kevin, because one of these quarterback needy teams might want to trade 10 with the Jets. And then you could reel some more picks, more draft capital for the future. And now you're setting yourself up to what we always said, Kevin, to be good 7-8 years, to be relevant 7, 8, 9 years, and not 1 or 2 years and then done. You know?
Yep. I hear you.
Every morning, Kevin, every morning, and you watch all the shows. Over the last 5, 6 years, you turn them on, and there's always 4 or 5 teams that are always talked about. I want to be one of those teams. It's like when we've had people from teams they're in the playoffs. It's like I say all the time, man, when your team's in, you make sure you watch everything, record, because you never know when you're going to be back there again. No, you're right. But how nice would it be, Kevin, if starting this season for the next 8 years, every morning football show you turn on, they're leading with us. They're talking about us. Or at least we're somewhere in there, right? Yeah. You know, Good Morning Football did 20 minutes on Devontae Adams this morning. I want that to be my team. I want to be relevant. I want to be the team everyone's talking about. I don't want to be the punching bag anymore. And I think it started this year. Joe Douglas made these made the cuts, got rid of that's the first step. Yep. That's the first step. The next step is nobody's going to talk about you unless you're winning. No, you're right. And listen, this is. And if they do talk about, and if you're not winning and they're talking about you, that's not good. Yeah. And you know what, Kevin, you started the program by saying it. This now all hinges back to Zach Wilson now. He can't complain. And not that he ever did. But now we as Jet fans can't complain that, he didn't have this. He has this now. And in another month, we'll know what we get in this draft. And now we have to rock, Zach. Now let's go. Let's go, my brother. You got this. You got CJ and Conklin. Don't throw it at their feet. Yeah. Yeah. And listen, there's already talks that he's meeting with Corey and yes, CJ in Tennessee. I saw that. Yes. He's going to meet up with some other players down in Florida. Barrios, I believe. Yep. So
I saw that.
He knows what's at stake now. He knows now. He's got a year under his belt.
Ball's in your court, dude. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, agree. Now, Zach, you know what? Let's do this because, and I heard someone say it. If Zach is not the quarterback, you don't care who you're bringing. In 2 or 3 years, Joe D is out the door, Salah's out the door, and we're back to where we started.
Well, yeah, because it's all about who you took it to.
Yeah. So we and even us as Jet fans, Kevin, like we've always said 3 years ago, give this quarterback the pieces. We need the pieces. The pieces are here now. They're coming.
You can have the badassest, fastest car in the world, but if you don't know how to drive it.
Yep. So the pieces are here. They're coming. JD we trust, but now it's got to be in Zach. Now Zach's got to show what we see on this film, all the highlights we saw. Now it's up to him to show us.
You're up, too.
Yep.
You're up.
Let's do this. So
number two, you're up.
Yeah. What more can we say, Kevin? The moves were made. We wanted these moves. I would say 97% of Jet Nation loves what was done. Yes, everyone has a player they wish, like you said earlier, you would have rather went for Honey Badger over.
I would have rather had the Honey Badger over Whitehead.
Yes. And listen, everyone has their little takes on who they wanted, but I don't see a big shift in I don't see it 50-50. Like I would say it's more like 90-10 that the Jet fans today are very pumped with these 5-6 free agents that we're bringing in.
And my Honey Badger thing is because the guy's a ball hawk.
No,
you know, and how many we have problems with interceptions. So you know, how many times they hit us right in the hands and
Well, they always say that's why a cornerback and a safety played that position because they couldn't catch the ball as wide receivers, right? Is that the line, something like that?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you watch some tape on this Whitehead and this Reed. These guys know how to stop a screen as well.
Let's go, man.
They're not going to get burned with these screen. Like we got good, sideline to sideline guys now with the speed. So, you know what, Kevin? It should be a fun year. Now, listen, Buffalo got better. We got better. Miami looks like they got better. I don't know all the moves they made. The Patriots were pretty quiet, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Yes,
but
they were.
The AFC is stacked. Like the AFC now is fun. You almost look at the NFC like a snoozer. All right, well, these 2-3 teams have a cakewalk there. But you look at our side, man, can you imagine all these AFC games that, this could be fun.
I mean, if I had to rank the teams right now in the AFC, I mean, obviously Buffalo number 1.
Okay.
I would think a tie between us and New England.
In our division, you're talking about.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay.
And then Miami bringing up the basement.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to argue that. The thing is, Kevin.
Could be wrong.
No, but Kevin, again, with this AFC so stacked, you could win 10 games and still might be out.
That's right.
You know? Right.
I mean, it helps with that 7th wild card, but still.
Yeah. I mean, when you go to the AFC and the 16 teams and you name every team's quarterback, you're like, wow. And listen, if Tua and Zach and even the Patriot quarterback, I'm at a loss right now. If they all take that next step like Burrow did, like Justin Herbert did, now you're looking at it like, wow, there's no, like you look at the schedule and every AFC team has to say, there's no weak opponent on this schedule anymore. There's no weaknesses, where we could just lay our hat and think we're going to win.
Hey, man, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I wish we were teeing it up Sunday, but.
Yeah, and Kevin, I haven't been this pumped since the Rex Ryan press conference.
Same here.
Although, I mean, the Salah press conference was pretty good. He got me pumped.
Yeah, but it was still an unknown. Rex was Rex. You already knew who Rex was.
Definitely.
His dad was Buddy, So.
No, I agree. But as of this morning, Jeff fans, we have nothing to really hang our hats. I mean, be depressed about. This
No.
Wow.
For once. for once, right?
Yeah, and I'm assuming right up until the draft, there are going to be other moves made. I wouldn't be surprised if something goes down today or tomorrow. Something else is going to happen, whether it's a pass rusher or another old lineman. Who knows? Let's see. Maybe a receiver. There's some out there still. I don't know what.
Hey, I saw Julio Jones got cut.
Yeah, I saw that.
Would you take him on a flyer?
Depending on what the contract was. Again, Kevin, like I said earlier, I feel like we've been down that road, the big name, the big splash, where, we're hoping for the 1 year. I don't want to be good for 1 year. I want to build for 6, 7, 8 good years. Depending on what Julio Jones wants, maybe a 1 year flyer, we'll see. But if I'm going to do that, Kevin, then I got to go the Metcalf route because he's still young. Well, how old is Julio?
I don't know. I think he's older though.
But definitely older than Metcalf.
I'd give him the 10 for Metcalf.
Okay. So straight up 10?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think a lot of Jeff fans might agree with you.
To me, that would be a steal.
Him and Corey Davis, and then you got Elijah Moore in the
Can you imagine? Right? Barrios?
And then you have Huzama or Conklin on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we said then.
On paper, that would be like one of the.
Looks like a dream team.
Mm-hmm.
And then who you got, and who you doubling? You're not doubling anyone.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of Jeff fans will agree with you. They would love to get Metcalf in here.
Hey, I'd offer him the 10 straight up. I'd take my edge at 4.
Okay.
And then I'd offer him the 10 straight up, and there's my number 1 wide receiver.
There you go. All right. So it sounds like we're ready to rock and roll.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right,
man. We got a long wait, though.
Yeah, no, I know. And listen, we'll be talking right up until free agency, and whatever else goes down, we'll be here. We don't leave. Again, I want to give a big shout out to everyone who liked and subscribed. Have been with us for the full year. Please keep liking and subscribing. Spread the word.
Absolutely.
Thank you all out there for helping us achieve our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, and I hope you're looking forward to this season as much as we are.
Definitely. Yep. We'll have
gonna be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, agree. And winning breeds happiness. So if we're winning, oh boy.
How many? All of you that have been watching, how many frickin' Sundays did we frickin' come on here with? After the game, it's like, it's like misery. Like the tuna used to say, there's winning and there's misery. There ain't nothing else.
Yep. Well, I'm hoping this year there's a lot of winning, and we come on our post game.
No misery.
Yeah, we've seen enough of that. I want to come on here on Sundays, big smile, and tell you everything we're doing right and how it's working and how.
I want to come on here Thanksgiving weekend and be in the mix and all pumped up.
Oh my God, yes. Oh yeah, agree.
For once.
Yeah, well, right now, what Joe Douglas did in free agency, and what's hopefully to come in this draft, we're moving in that direction, Jeff fans. So we'll be patient, and we'll see where this all goes. But I got to tell you that elevator is pointing up, right? That it's rising. That boat
going up.
Yeah, going up. Yep.
Ding.
All right, my brother. Another good one.
Hey. Beautiful day today here in Jersey and New York. Go out and enjoy, you guys. All right. And I'm ready. 1 year.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
I know.
52 episodes.
Yeah. Can't believe it. We done it.
Can't believe it. Yeah. All right, you guys. Have a great one. Have a great weekend. Like I said, enjoy the weather today, and we'll talk to you next week. And most important, shut up!
Yeah.
We'll talk to you later.